I'm the guy.
You're fired.
Are you ready?
They make sure you ain't booty.
Any man with two hands has a fighting chance.
Be up John Cena. Welcome to Raw is Jericho.
Austin 316 says I just ripped your ass.
How you doing?
What the rock
You just made the list. Welcome to the Kevin Owens Show.
is cooking.
Hello, and welcome to R&J Podcast's The Scoop.
I would like to say well done for Rodders for remaining calm then, because I just stressed him the fuck out before we started recording.
Yes, I'm not in a good place, but the show must go on.
The show must go on.
And-
Shall we get to the news?
Yes, please, news me.
Let's go to the news. So, Hideo Itami is rumoured to be joining 205 Live.
Okay. Now, this is this is the character that you met. Is it not?
No, I've never met Hideo Itami.
Okay,
Fuck
who
Kenta.
did you meet in the street?
Oh, no, I met Kota Ibushi. in the
That
street.
was it.
Yes,
that was
Kota
it.
Ibushi. I
Right.
met him in Colchester.
Yeah.
Outside a paper chase.
Really weird.
Yeah, that was weird. That was amazing.
And then you called me up immediately.
I could like 30 seconds later, and he could probably hear me in the background. Yeah, that's right. Also,
Anyway,
other news,
Hideo
let's talk the legitimate biggest bit of news
Yeah.
this week. 3 names from WWE have now left.
Yep.
They have been released. That being Darren Young,
Yep.
Summer Rae,
Of course.
Emma.
Yep.
I can understand Darren Young. They haven't been using him.
No.
Summer Rae, I get. Again, they haven't been using her. She hasn't really been featured on Total Divas.
Nope.
Do not understand getting rid of Emma.
That seems like... did they get rid of Emma? Or did Emma...
Oh, no, yeah, they released her.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
They released her. So let's look at the timeline of Emma. So she came in quite a few years ago. I don't have the exact date. She came in quite a few years ago. She went through NXT. She came to the main roster. She was doing that weird dancing thing
Yep.
with all the bubbles and the dancing and the finger pointing. She then teamed up with Santino Marella. That's how long ago we're talking here. Santino was still in the company. And she has just floundered ever since.
Like,
She had Emelina,
Yep.
which didn't work. I think that's some of the reason she got booted. Because Emelina didn't work.
Yeah, but I feel as though what she was doing now had some progress.
The evil Emma character that she was doing on television with the shades and the blackish lipstick. She was doing that in NXT for a while, and she was very good at it. They then brought her back to the main roster and said, right, let's give her another run. She came back. She finally, after all these years, gets her first ever one-on-one singles match on a pay-per-view against Asuka.
Well, for
gives
fuck's
Asuka a
sake.
decent match.
Yep.
Asuka then gives her a decent match in the return match the next night. Now she's gone.
Fuck's sake.
Very, very strange. Very, very strange. She's the only one that I really kind of go, I don't get that at all.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's been a good long time before we've had kind of multiple releases on the same day.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. So, next bit of news. Impact Wrestling are no longer Global Force Wrestling.
Yeah, the
Jeff
name
Jarrett
changes
is officially
go
gone. Yes.
like left, right, and centre. It's so confusing.
It's ridiculous. So, just to cover all bases, Impact TNA, Global Force Wrestling, Flow Sports, Anthem, the Owl, Roy Hodgson, it's all the same thing. So, Impact Wrestling were allegedly in talks with New Japan Pro Wrestling, who they previously had a deal with. But here's a funny thing that you may not know. Years and years ago, New Japan brought in Hiroshi Tanahashi and Kazuchika Okada, two of the biggest names in New Japan. Kazuchika Okada is possibly the best wrestler, the best champion, the best heavyweight champion on the planet. TNA brought him in a few years ago.
That's your opinion.
And that's also the right opinion. At Dave Meltzer. So, TNA a few years ago, and I mean like we're talking just shy of a decade, I want to say.
Oh, wow.
Brought in Kazuchika Okada. They made him dress up as Kato from the Green Hornet. And he was Samoa Joe's lackey. They booked him so poorly that when Scott D'Amore, a guy that works for Impact, went to meet with New Japan, he spoke to the locker room and publicly apologised to Okada for the way they treated him previously.
Ouch.
Can you imagine any other professional wrestling company having to go to another professional wrestling company, and before they can even speak to them about any sort of possible deals, you have to apologise to the talent?
Yeah, that's... Talk about leverage.
Yeah. But at the same time, I would quite like to see Vince McMahon walk into any indie company and go, "Hey, Al Snow, I'd do it again in a heartbeat." You know what I mean? But yeah, that was my funny bit of news this week. That was absolutely ridiculous and hilarious, and I enjoyed it. Another bit of really scary, frightening news. Speaking of New Japan, there was a Road to Power Struggle event. So they're kind of the build-up shows to the big pay-per-view. So Power Struggle is the big pay-per-view happening this Sunday, November 5th, NewJapanWorld.com. Watch it. You owe yourself to watch it. There was a build-up event. Marty Scurll. I think it was Hangman Page. No. Chase Owens. It was one of them. And Marty Scurll were in a 6-man tag team match. Marty Scurll comes out dressed as Prince Ali from Aladdin.
Prince Ali, handsome
the main
as
character.
he.
Da 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 da.
Yeah. I can't think of the rest of the lyrics.
They're the words. For copyright sakes, they are the words. He had a mini Apu doll in his hand.
Amazing.
The other one, who I think was Chase Owens, came out dressed up as the genie after Marty Scurll rubbed a lamp.
Oh.
And then finally, Kenny Omega came out dressed as Prince Jasmine with eyelashes and a crop top. Now, Kenny Omega has had possibly the greatest trilogy in the history of wrestling in 2017. He's also dressed up as Prince Jasmine.
Yeah.
What a man.
That's
What a
crazy.
man. What an incredible human being.
That is crazy.
I love him for all the right reasons.
We're going to get onto fancy dress in a bit. But
we are.
That is a fancy dress that I can go for.
Absolutely. I mean, that's the news.
That's the news.
It was mainly about the releases, let's be honest.
Yeah, but I like how the news ended.
Yes.
I like that.
Also, Cesaro says he wants to have a one-on-one match with Kurt Angle, but so does everyone. So.
Join the club.
Don't join the club. You'll never get a match against Kurt. Shall we move on?
Oh.
And that was the news. Let's talk Raw.
Go for it.
Let's talk Raw. So, let's start with the takeaways from Raw, beginning with the fact that Stephanie McMahon has returned.
Oh, yes.
And she has issued an ultimatum to Mr. Kurt Angle.
Yeah, makes
Basically,
sense.
buck your ideas up.
Yeah.
I love how Kurt went from, he's got a bit of a bum neck, we're not sure he wants to wrestle, we're not going to put him in the ring too. Let's just put him in the ring every month.
Get him in the ring. In the ring.
Yeah. I will say just kind of an overarching thing about Raw and SmackDown. We talked about last week how the company goes into a holding pattern. It gets really slow. Not much happens. Raw and SmackDown this week, two cohesive, very good pieces of television. Like, really good shows this week, beyond what they normally should be. Especially at this time of year.
I think there were some favourable matches that helped.
I think that they're really concerned about Survivor Series. I think they have to make Survivor Series a big deal again.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, I would
Like,
enjoy that. It's like
they are
Survivor
making
Series should be a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, they're making a conscious effort. I mean, right now you've got Kurt Angle and Shane McMahon in the Survivor Series match.
Yep.
But like I said, a Survivor Series will come and pass, and no one will care about Survivor Series. Like, no one will care about Raw versus SmackDown.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But what I did like is how, because Braun came back,
He did.
and what's always astonished me about these sorts of shows is when it happened with the Invasion originally back in 2001. So people would invade, but then people on the show that they've invaded would still be feuding with each other, and it's like, why don't you just put this to the side and get rid of the invaders first? But what I liked about this is Braun came back, and Braun was like, you messed with me, I'm gonna kill you. Now that I enjoyed. Braun was very, very awesome. But we had two other big names return: Samoa Joe, Nia Jax.
I'm pleased that both of them. I'm pleased that Braun's returned too, of course, but I'm pleased that Samoa Joe's returned, and just nice to see Nia back, and like for all the is she gonna leave rumors to go away, because it's fine.
I just don't know what they're gonna do with Joe now.
I believe there was a recent article that suggested he could be a ridiculously dominant Intercontinental Champion.
I second that motion.
I mean, like, he would have to be a ridiculously dominant champion.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I would enjoy that.
He would have to bulldoze the entire division.
Yeah.
Until you bring someone either from SmackDown or someone from NXT. I think he would be a great IC champion.
Yeah, I mean, he destroyed Apollo Crews and
he did
Titus.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking
of
which,
he's not going to get Brock anytime soon, is he? So
no, that ship has sailed.
I think if you're going to have Reigns win the title at Mania next year, Joe is a good person to feud with Reigns coming out of Mania.
Yes.
So give Joe the IC belt and let Joe have a run with it, because why not?
It's
like
the Miz can do what he's doing without
the Miz. Yeah, the Miz does not need that belt. The Miz has done a very good job up to this point, but right now the Miz does not need that belt.
No, there's
he fundamentally does not need that belt.
You could Photoshop the belt out and it would make no difference.
Exactly, but which is not a detriment to him.
No.
It's just that he is above that belt now.
Yeah. It's not saying he shouldn't have it. It's the fact that he doesn't need it.
Yes, exactly. Speaking of things that people need, Matt Hardy needs to get broken.
Yeah.
Like, it needs to happen.
He needs something.
Definitely needs something.
He has fallen into the, we don't have anyone to fight this person. Oh, there's Matt Hardy. Great.
Yeah, it's just Jeff went, and it's kind of clear now that they brought back the Hardys because they wanted Jeff.
Yeah.
Which is a shame, because Matt in himself is a good character and he can bring something new to the table, but they just have to give him the opportunity to do that. Yeah. Moving on.
Can I talk about a match that I think was secretly... like a match that I think could have been, and like in an alternate universe, this would have been like a championship match.
Okay.
And would have been amazing.
Okay.
It was amazing, but it could have been more in an alternate universe. And that's Finn Balor and Cesaro.
Oh yeah.
I felt as though, like, watching that, I was like, there's a universe where
Cesaro is the dominant heel champion.
Yeah.
And Finn is the challenger.
Yeah. Massively.
Yes. I actually agree with that. I was worried you were going to go on a tangent. I was worried we were going to get, like, Aiden English and fucking...
No, we're not there yet. We're not there yet.
We're not there yet.
This is actual genuinely serious. I think that match, like, you can, because that's the kind of match that could have just come and gone.
Yeah. I mean, Aiden English in the main event is like the darkest timeline.
Yes.
Speaking of being in the dark, Daniel Bryan got attacked in the dark.
Yeah.
So we're just attacking Bryan now, are we?
Well, no, we are suggesting that we're attacking Bryan by getting very close to his face and then kicking a table.
Yeah.
It just seems a bit kind of like, yeah, so we want to involve Daniel Bryan as much as possible without actually involving Daniel Bryan.
How has Kurt Angle been cleared and Daniel Bryan hasn't been cleared?
I guess because Daniel Bryan never left the company.
Yeah, but how has Kurt Angle been cleared and Daniel Bryan hasn't been cleared?
I have no idea.
What? Are they going through the same tests? Because Kurt Angle has had multiple concussions, same as Daniel Bryan. He's had the same neck issues. It's ridiculous. How is Kurt Angle cleared? I don't understand it.
I love the idea that Kurt Angle's gone into like one of these medicals and they've gone, yeah, we've got some bad news, and then he's just like unbuttoned part of his shirt and revealing the gold medal, and he's just gone broken neck. Yeah.
Speaking of blasts from the past,
Sure.
why is it that Kane seems to be beating everyone? Does he have something on Vince McMahon? Does he have pictures of Vince McMahon?
Okay, do you want me to go silly with this, or do you want me to go serious with this?
I want you to weave both.
Right. Okay. So personally, I think someone is giving him some sort of like Space Jam juice, sweat juice that's making him like ultra amazing, but
yes,
so that it's building up for him versus Braun Strowman.
Oh yes, it is. It is obviously building up for Kane versus Braun.
I don't know why they need to make Kane so ridiculously overpowered.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I now have Space Jam stuck in my head.
Good.
It's your chance. Do your dance at the Space Jam. All right. Speaking of Braun,
sure.
has he spent the last 8 days living inside of a garbage truck?
I mean, I reckon he probably could.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to think he has a little bit more class. But I guess
very strange. Very, very strange. Speaking of very strange, my final note on Raw, Alexa Bliss beat Mickie James by punching her.
Yeah. I think that's it for Mickie James.
Yep.
Sorry.
What a shame. What a shame.
That's, yeah.
Are they fast forwarding Asuka? That's what I'm getting
yes,
from
they
this?
must be. They must be fast forwarding Asuka, because you can't have, like, I think if Mickie James won, yeah, Alexa Bliss has got to come back and win it again. Because I think they'll be like, oh shit, I'm not too fussed about what we do with Mickie James after this, but need to make sure that Alexa Bliss has got something to work with after this.
I'm slightly gutted because I wanted to see Mickie versus Natalia, but I knew it wouldn't happen.
Yeah, I know.
I just feel that's kind of two veterans that could really go in the ring together.
Now, can I bring up 3 other things?
Yes.
Right, and I'll be very quick with this.
Okay.
I understand it's Halloween and, have a bit of fun, but for fuck's sake, Heath Slater and Rhino with Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. That was just right.
Carl
All
Anderson
Hallows Eve trick or treat street fight. Have Heath Slater and Rhino been preparing for that one match like for weeks?
I mean, let's face it, Rhino likes Halloween because he likes a bit of gore.
Ah, okay.
I'll see myself out.
Moving on to the next one.
No, but Carl Anderson actually tweeted after that match and after Raw just a picture of a money bag.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just put the freaking club together. Here's another rumor that they apparently pitched. When Roman and Bray were pulled out of the TLC event.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
They wanted to put the club together.
Yeah, I heard that.
They wanted to put AJ Finn and the club. And Vince McMahon said no.
Yep, Vince McMahon said no.
Like, that's huge.
I know.
That's arguably bigger than AJ versus Finn.
Yeah.
Because then you could build up to AJ versus Finn.
Yeah.
You could have had the Club versus The Miz and all these other guys. I'd
No.
be well up for that.
Yep.
Ah.
I know. Right. 2 more things about Raw that I'm going to whiz through.
Okay.
Kalisto defeating Drew Gulak.
Yep.
Like I was watching that, and I remember hearing your voice going, "When you see Drew Gulak in the ring, you'll realize he's ridiculously amazing." And I was just like, "Oh, he has not been given a chance
No.
at all."
No.
Feel so sorry for him. But again, he's getting the money, but at the same time, we're talking
Money
about...
doesn't equal happiness. Just
No.
ask Neville.
Yeah, exactly. Right. And the other thing that doesn't equal happiness, is Elias. For fuck's sake, how long are we going to go on with, I'm going to sing a song, you're going to listen, and I'm not going to be, who's interrupting me now?
Yeah, if you wanna like have a great musical performance that takes the piss out of the crowd, watch The Rock. Watch Hollywood Rock.
Yeah.
I mean, just amazing.
The thing is that
Just
half the
nothing
time I
touches
can't
that.
hear what Elias is singing about.
Yep.
It's shocking, it's shit, and they need to drop it because they've been doing it constantly, week in, week out, and it's just nuts. I don't get it. Like, I've been thinking like quite a lot about this recently. Before he moved up to the main roster,
Yep. NXT.
he was feuding with Cassius Ohno.
He was.
And then Cassius Ohno like broke his guitar and Elias was like, oh no, they had that match where you leave,
Loser leaves.
leaves. Yeah.
Yeah.
And fucking Elias moves up, and I'm just thinking, I was willing to give Elias a chance, but I really wish now that Cassius Ohno moved up.
Yeah. Well, Cassius is. Yeah, I haven't watched a lot of NXT.
I mean, I can't comment on what Cassius has been like recently, but I don't want Elias. I don't want Elias.
Now again, fantasy booking. Here's what I would do with Elias. His character is that he is the drifter. I would allow him to just randomly appear at independent events across the country. Just randomly make deals with these companies. Just say, look, we've got this guy. We want to really build him up. We want to get him a new character. And we want to make a big deal about him. Just let him just randomly show up. Just walking through the crowd playing a guitar.
You know what?
Holy shit, where'd he come from? That guy's from WWE. He can just be the drifter. He can get in the ring and just attack people and then demand matches and be a drifter.
I'd be happy with that. I would get on board that. I would go if they said that Elias was going to be at a match. I would go see it for that.
Yeah, and at the same time, he could do things like, he could hitchhike. I know it sounds ridiculous, but he could hitchhike from town to town. If WWE is in a certain town, he appears on Raw, but then he also appears on independent shows, and then he has to hitchhike to the next town because he's a drifter. Like, live the gimmick a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not advocating him getting cars with random strangers completely because they could stab him in the face, but he could travel with independent companies.
Yeah.
Like, make him a drifter. Make me believe that he's a drifter. When I was a kid, I believed that The Undertaker was dead.
Yeah, and that
2 reasons. One, I'm a bit slow. 2, they convinced me. I believed that Steve Austin just drank beer all day and drove monster trucks.
See, I didn't believe that, but I definitely believed that The Undertaker would come to my house, put his weird symbol in front of my house, and set it alight while burning my childhood teddy bears.
Yeah. Childhood.
Yeah.
You gotta love childhood. Good Lord. Good Lord.
Oh, right. Shall we crack on to SmackDown?
Let's talk SmackDown.
Okay, so Shane just announced himself as the team captain. It makes sense. I mean, I've been saying that we would get Kurt Angle versus Shane. It's going to happen.
Yeah, but I'm angry that we don't have Shane versus Owen Kevin Owens.
Yeah.
That was the match. That was the 5-on-5 match to do, and they've blown it.
Yep. And now
Kevin Owens came out of that feud looking like the baddest motherfucker on the planet. Sami Zayn came out of that feud looking like the sidekick to the baddest motherfucker on the planet, and he had this big heel turn. It was all exciting. And once again, we're talking about Shane McMahon as the focal point of this show. Shane McMahon is in his 50s. He should not be the focal point of this show. I'm getting fucking fed up with this.
Yep.
I'm so done with McMahon family stuff. I just want to see two wrestlers feuding in the ring, getting it done. Case in point, Bobby Roode, Dolph Ziggler. Where the hell did that come from?
Like, people are behind Bobby Roode because of his entrance.
Yeah.
It's a great entrance, but they should be behind him because of his wrestling.
Yes. I would turn Bobby at Survivor Series. Bobby Roode is a born heel.
Yeah.
Born heel. Do not make him a babyface. As glorious as it is, he shouldn't be a babyface.
Yep.
Sorry, I feel like I've jumped on one of your points there. Kind of feel like you're gonna get to that match.
No, not at all. No, I'm just running through the takeaways from SmackDown, and it was Bobby Roode being the next member. I guess the next one.
Let's not talk about Bobby's member.
Oh, come on. So the next one is about Baron Corbin just wanting to take Sin Cara's mask off.
Sin Cara, who has recently signed a 2-year contract extension.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Why? What is it about Sin Cara that they're looking at him and going, money?
Yes.
Unless he's selling masks and I'm just not aware of it. Oh, man.
I don't know.
I'm just not interested in Sin Cara.
I'm sorry, Sin Cara.
He's not. And Baron Corbin. What are you doing?
Apparently, Sin Cara is the main threat and opponent for, the United States title.
AJ Styles, Sin Cara.
Yeah, not even on WWE 2K18 is that going to happen.
No. That's like Jinder Mahal being WWE champion.
So my next point on the takeaways is apparently that Jinder Mahal was impressive tonight.
He was.
I mean,
Jinder was actually pretty. I watched the promo and I was impressed.
The
Beastmaster is not what I would call him.
Well, when I came, I think he fulfilled the job. When I came away from SmackDown, I was thinking, right, okay, they are building Jinder to, like, why are they having AJ fight these against the Singh brothers? And it's to build Jinder.
Yes.
Jinder coming in and then, like, destroying AJ Styles. I'm surprised that AJ Styles agreed to it, but
they just put a big pot of money in front of him.
Exactly. And yeah, Jinder just looks extremely powerful.
Yes, he does. He might beat Brock. You know what I mean? I mean,
yeah. That I think WWE are trying to, like. I think they know that they've got this match where everyone's like, okay, on paper it's Brock Lesnar, but I think they're trying to throw as many question marks in there as possible.
Can you imagine if this was Shinsuke versus Brock? Like, the hype right now. I am one of the biggest Shinsuke Nakamura fans going, and even I could tell you from a biased standpoint and even an unbiased standpoint that Shinsuke is somebody that could feasibly beat Brock and it not seem weird, because he is a striker. He has MMA experience. He's fought Brock Lesnar before in Japan, and it was a great match. So, I get them wanting to make Jinder. I saw a picture of Jinder recently. The man is just... The word ripped doesn't even begin. The man is just muscle. He must have a % of fat on his body. But it's Jinder Mahal. Like, they had an opportunity to build him, and they didn't build him, and now he's champion, and now we need to accept that he's champion, but at the same time, putting him in the ring with Brock Lesnar and telling me he's on the same level as Brock Lesnar is a bridge too far.
I think,
too much.
They've missed a trick, and it hasn't quite worked, and now they're still trying to make it work. And,
yes.
There are some... It's okay, so let's find another analogy here. They're making a jigsaw. Yeah, and some of the pieces at the beginning didn't fit, but they went with it anyway. And now they found a few pieces that do fit, but just the whole picture doesn't quite work. Some of it does work, and you kind of want it to work, but it's not fully fitting together. So you're just going to have to put it to one side eventually and say, yeah, I messed up with that jigsaw and I can't undo it because I used super glue.
Yeah. My analogy is it's like picking the wrong guy to play Anakin Skywalker, but then thinking, fuck it, we'll just throw loads of money at it. And then put some CGI on it, and people will have to like him at some point.
And then, we'll put him into the original, appearances through CGI and ghosts and whatnot, and replace previous actors, and that'll be fine.
Yeah, that will be fine. That is all fine. I respect Jinder. I think he works hard. He's in the position he's in because he's a hard worker.
Sure, he's not a slob.
He's not a slob. He gives everything in the ring. I'm hoping he gives everything in the ring, because otherwise he needs to work a hell of a lot harder. But I think he is giving everything that he physically can do. But you cannot put him in the ring with Brock Lesnar and expect me to take that seriously.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that. Speaking of seriously, I don't know. That was a bad segue. I don't know. The last takeaway is...
My segues were sexy.
Yeah. Fuck you. Speaking of wanting to fuck someone, Shinsuke Nakamura...
Yeah, I knew you'd go there. Seriously. If it was Shinsuke versus Brock at Survivor Series, how hyped would you be for that match?
I would be pretty hyped.
Even with all the shit they've put Shinsuke through, even with all the poor booking, that is a way to elevate that man and make people go, no, yeah, I want to see this match.
Yeah. Yeah, without a doubt.
It's crazy to me. It is absolutely crazy to me.
But for now, he's the fourth member of SmackDown team.
But even at the same time, here's another one. Survivor Series could be a lot different. Who's the man that you said should have the IC belt?
Samoa Joe.
Who's the man that Baron Corbin probably shouldn't have beaten?
AJ Styles?
Yeah.
What? Yeah?
Or imagine AJ versus Joe.
Yeah.
Like, that was a match that defined a company.
Yep.
I mean, we could have such a different card on our hands. We could have...
We really could.
It's infuriating. It's just... It's so short term. The whole thing feels so short term. Right, Jinder's not working. If we put him in there with Brock, that'll elevate him. That's just how it feels like. It feels like they weren't planning on doing this until someone went, Survivor Series, what are we going to do with Survivor Series? I just put them all in the ring. Yeah, but Clash of Champions is next month. Belts are on the line anyway.
Yeah.
Like, come on. I mean, I'm still going to watch it. It's obviously, I watch every WWE pay-per-view because it's hardwired into my skull. But this could have been a much better pay-per-view than... I mean, it could blow me away. Jinder could blow me away.
Yeah, I mean, I think
really
we just don't know.
I'm not expecting him to, but he could.
Yeah.
But anyway, shall we look at the current updated card for Survivor Series?
Can we just finish SmackDown for a second?
Okay, what else have
My
you got for
word.
SmackDown?
Seriously.
What else have you got? You got to the last takeaway, and now you're telling me you haven't finished SmackDown.
Well, yeah, because you got to the last takeaway, and then I still had things to say.
I'm done. I have no things to say.
Right. Well, I want to discuss, this whole Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn situation. How they're not in Survivor Series at all. So what they're going to be doing for Survivor Series?
They need to intervene during the main event.
Yeah.
Cost SmackDown the match.
Yeah. At some point, it has to be. At some point, Chris Jericho will return and will try and ruin the friendship.
The Super Friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think he will.
There's part of me that's like, that's pretty clever. And then there's another part of me that goes, the fuck? It's pretty obvious.
There's better uses of Jericho.
Yeah.
I like it. I think it's good. But in terms of Chris Jericho at this point in his career, if he comes back for another run,
it can't just be
in another run. Jericho is at a point now where he needs to be having these big matches. He needs to be having these big WrestleMania marquee matches.
Yep.
Like, we need to stop using him as disposable. We need to stop putting him in there and say, right, you can make Bray Wyatt, yeah? Right.
Yeah.
Why didn't you make Bray Wyatt? Right, you can make Fandango, yeah? Why didn't you make Fandango?
Yeah. I mean, he is good at that.
Yeah, he was not making people.
Well, he helped make Kevin Owens.
Okay.
He helped bring in... Okay. Let me rephrase that. He helped bring in Kevin Owens in a big way. And he helped bring in AJ Styles.
Okay, AJ, granted, he did help AJ. Because AJ's first feud was Jericho. That's fair.
Yeah, no, you're right. Kevin's first feud was just still Sammy.
No. Kevin's first feud in NXT was Sammy. Kevin's first main roster feud was Cena. Cena made Kevin Owens because Kevin Owens beat Cena clean in his first match.
Wait. Really? Kevin Owens' first
main roster feud, when he was NXT champion, he interrupted John Cena and beat John Cena.
Okay, well, that's fantastic.
Raw. That's how you make a man.
That's how you make it. There we go. Okay, fair dues. Take that back then. I mean, Kevin Owens, Chris Jericho did,
Granted, it was the work that Jericho did with Owens was fantastic.
Yeah.
You can't take away from that. I mean, some of the best character work at Owens and Jericho's career.
Yeah. But to say he made him and maybe a step too far, you're right. You're quite right.
Thank you.
Right. The next and last thing that I want to discuss is another match that I think in an alternative universe could have been quite big. That's Rusev and Big E.
Yeah.
I think in an alternative universe that could have been a big, decent match.
If Big E was WWE champion, I wouldn't bat an eyelid. I'd think, yeah.
Seems about right.
Yeah. And if Rusev was challenging for the title against Big E, who was champion, I'd go, I get that.
Seems about right.
Yeah. But let's talk Survivor Series. Which is happening when? When is Survivor Series? November 19th.
Yeah.
I mean, that is like ages.
It's
but
18 days.
It is nice to actually have some weeks where I can talk news.
Yeah,
and not just pay-per-views.
This is true.
It is true. So, let's start at the top. Okay. Universal Champion versus WWE Champion in a non-title match. Brock Lesnar versus Jinder.
Right.
We've already been through this.
Yes.
You know our thoughts on this. We will probably be talking this a week before Survivor Series and going, no, seriously, Brock killing him.
Correct.
Men's 5-on-5 traditional team elimination match. Kurt Angle, Braun Strowman, and 3 TBA versus Shane McMahon, Randy Orton, Bobby Roode, Shinsuke Nakamura, and one more person to be announced. This is looking fairly star-studded when you take a glimpse at it.
Yes.
Kurt and Shane, Braun Orton, Bobby, Shinsuke. It's looking pretty good.
I think there's potential for Kane to end up in the Raw team.
Yeah.
And for there to be that kind of like implosion. And then, as you say, Kevin and Sammy could interrupt.
Yeah, but would Kurt put Kane on his team?
This is true. Kurt is now like going to be the mastermind and, you know, take charge and
he's gonna put Jason in that team. He's gonna put Jason Jordan in that team because it's his son. I mean,
yeah,
you know,
yeah. He's gonna put Jason Jordan in there. Oh, do you know what I want? Oh, if only, fucking only. You know what? I'm cruiserweight champion. I should be there. That would be fucking hilarious. That would be fucking hilarious.
What, just having Enzo just like...
Enzo in there is like, what the fuck are you doing here? I'm cruiserweight champion, thank you very much.
And then he just gets knocked out in like 30 seconds.
That would be hilarious.
I would like the last person on Team SmackDown to be Chad Gable, and I would like Jason Jordan to be on Team Raw, so we get a bit of Gable versus Jordan.
Oh, nice. Not going to happen.
No. Thanks. I mean,
Sorry.
you're not wrong. You are painfully right there. Like to the point where it kind of guts a little bit. Fuck. Right, so let's talk Raw Women's Champion versus SmackDown Women's Champion. Alexa Bliss versus Natalya.
I can't...
Heel versus heel.
Can't call this one.
It's like every match on this card needs to finish in a DQ. You're just making one brand look weak in every single fucking match.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Women's 5-on-5 traditional team elimination match. Sasha Banks, Bayley, Nia Jax, and one more to be announced versus Charlotte, Becky Lynch, Carmella, Tamina, and Naomi. Again, another fairly star-studded match.
It's a star-studded match. I like it. Personally, for me, that's got SmackDown. Like on paper, that's SmackDown. Charlotte, Becky Lynch, Tamina. I mean, Tamina is going to face off against Nia Jax.
Is Survivor Series the time to cash in for Carmella?
Depends when on the card the matches are.
Yeah. I like I said before, I would quite like Carmella to cash in on Alexa. But at the same time,
yes.
like, no. But I would like that.
I would love that. That would be so genius. That would be amazing just to have Carmella just come in and be like, yes, I'm cashing in. Who for?
On you.
On you.
Yeah.
But Natalya just won. Why is she coming to cash in? This is ridiculous. No, I'm cashing in again.
Yeah.
Alexa.
Speaking of ridiculous cash-ins, IC champion The Miz versus US champion Baron Corbin. No. This match can't happen, surely. Like, who? What? The two chicken shit heels, like.
I know it's
like. No. And speaking of things that shouldn't happen, let's flip reverse it, as Blazing Squad used to say. Yeah, that's right. That's for all you American fans out there.
Oh God.
And fans in Japan who obviously know who Blazing Squad are. Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose, 2/3 of the Shield versus the Usos. Can't wait for that one.
Yeah,
that's the match. That's the one right there. That's the blow-away match.
Unless Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin get the titles next week on SmackDown.
Oh, yes, please.
Yes, really?
Please. Oh, yes, please. Oh, Chad Gable versus the Shield. Shelton Benjamin versus the Shield. Oh, yes, please.
Oh, okay, well, it's a win-win situation for you.
Oh, it's a win-win. I don't care either way. In fact, put all three of them in there. Make it a triple threat.
Okay.
Make it a TLC match. And finally, the Cruiserweight Championship, Enzo Amore versus Kalisto.
Oh, I don't know.
Just to further emphasize the fact that the Cruiserweights mean dick. Like, not even important enough
I don't know.
to be part of SmackDown versus Raw.
I don't know. So it feels as though, 205 Live is now less important than James Ellsworth dressed up as a dog.
Yeah, pretty much. I would have used. Do you know what annoys me though? I would have included NXT in this. It's just a.
Oh no, I like it. You get you get 4 members of your brand, and then 1 NXT wild card.
Yeah,
that you get to pick.
Yeah, you get to decide. Yeah, because it can build someone from there. I mean, it wouldn't have happened, but Brock Lesnar versus Jinder Mahal versus Drew McIntyre. I mean, that's got an extra element of the fact
Champions
that Drew,
versus champions, yeah.
Yeah, that Drew used to be in the 3-man band with Jinder.
Yeah.
You know, and it's kind of like, look where we are now. Like, this is ridiculous. But if people say that's crazy, why would you do a triple threat? And why is Drew that good? Like, Jinder's in this match. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. It's not like I'm ruining The Rock versus Brock. I'm ruining Jinder versus Brock.
Yeah, it's fine.
And also, you can have the NXT Tag Champions in there. Like, why not?
Yeah.
I don't see why not. Make that a 3-way as well. It makes NXT seem a little bit more important. And as well as that, women's match. I suppose 3 triple threats is a bit much, isn't it?
No. It's fucking Survivor Series.
Yeah. As many people getting paychecks as possible. That's what Survivor Series is.
By then, hopefully, we'll be getting more paychecks.
I mean, we're talking about the show as if it's this weekend, but it's not.
I know.
Like, we're going to have another 3-4 weeks of this. 3 weeks. 3 weeks of this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Come back next week where we'll say the exact same thing.
Like, seriously, Jinder?
Yeah. Well, actually, to be honest, we'll probably have changed our minds completely.
Good night.